Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel Wake Up Bright, where I share all the things that help me live each day a little brighter. I'm April Lauren and this is my YouTube channel. I have been sharing my weight loss ventures for a long time and I'll likely continue to do that. In this video I just want to say hi and break the ice. I have not made videos in quite some time, so I feel very I don't know what to do with my hands. That's how I feel, very awkward and uncomfortable. So, and yeah, that's where I'm at. So this is probably going to be a rambly one. Most of my videos are. And if you're here and you've been here, welcome back. I love you. And you're most likely here because you like that. And if you're here because you don't like that, well, bless your heart. Why are you here? So we're just gonna dive into all of my feelings and let's do it. Whew, I feel a lot of pressure making this video. I have so many mixed feelings about sharing and not sharing my progress this past year. I wanted to share so bad, and then so I had weight loss surgery, if you're new here, and it's right at a year, so I will be going to my 1-year doctor's visit and I will be doing labs and everything to see where I'm at vitamin wise. I will say at about 9 months in, not quite, it was around 9 months, so it was a little before, I don't know when exactly it was. I don't have a YouTube journal to go back and look at, and I am a terrible journaler. If you can hear my dog drinking water, I'm sorry. They're right there. Just drinking it up. I don't know at what point it was, but I did start getting more energy. It took a long time for me to have just energy to live life, and I wouldn't say that it's the same energy as before. It definitely wasn't the same as I've had in times past, but it's everything I do doesn't exhaust me. And for a long time after weight loss surgery, everything I did, I feel like, made me feel so depleted. So I'm way more comfortable just living life and moving, and I'm so grateful for all of these little things that I'm able to do, and I am so regretful that I haven't been vlogging this for myself. In so many ways, I'm just so sad that I don't have a video journal of this past year. And yeah, so I think part of it is that I haven't wanted to face myself on a regular basis, and I really have done a good job of avoiding that. I think just I go to work, I spend time with my husband, I read a lot of books, I spend a lot of time in my garden, and I spend a lot of time doing things at church, and all of these things are wonderful things, and I find I don't spend that much time thinking about myself, and I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about myself, but at the same time, it's like the surgery has done its job. I feel like I've lost a significant amount of weight. I feel like I could have lost more, and when I got that energy back, I didn't necessarily seize it as an opportunity to really dig in and do the other things that lead to weight loss. And I'm gonna start. So I'm excited for that. I don't know how I will be sharing that, but I intend to share, although I intended to share this past year, and so I'm very uncommittal, I think, in going forward, and it depends on how sharing affects me. And I think a lot of that just has to do with my own mental toughness, my own strength. Can I let negativity roll off, or am I going to grab hold of it and use it as a repetitive thing that is in my head? that people think this about you and people think this about you. And like doing that is so unhealthy. I think the reverse is true too. Like going through life thinking that none of those negative things are true also isn't healthy, because, you know, I'm human and I make a lot of mistakes, and I think I do things that are awesome sometimes. I think a lot of times if I'm doing something that's really good, I have a tendency not even to acknowledge that it's good though. I tend to be hypercritical. So anyway, I'm just rambling on here. I think too, being 40 is so interesting because it's like growing up, you have these dreams of like what you want your life to look like and how you want your life to be and like what it means. And I feel like there's more nowadays. Like there's more books, I feel like, about this stage of life, and there's more visible people who are visible and they're like, you know, I'm 40 and thriving. Like, I don't know, there's more things out there now, or even older. I think in like the thralls of, like, in the moment of youth, I never really looked at what I wanted life to feel like or be like here. And it almost is like I thought life would be over at this point. Not over as in I wouldn't be here, but like, it's like, you know, that stuff's not for me, when the opposite is true. A lot of people, you know, they're in the middle of raising their babies and then they're going to have empty nests and they start a whole new type of life, which that's not going to be us. I joke around with my mom because my mom will talk about how old she is. My mom was young when she had us, and I'm like, Mom, if I'm blessed to have a baby in the next couple years, like, I'm going to have a high schooler when I'm your age. So there's that. Like, so anyway, I don't really have a purpose for this video, if that isn't abundantly clear. I do feel like once I start filming, then hopefully I'll be more able to film. It's like breaking the ice. I didn't sit down and I'm like, this is what I want to communicate. I actually was approached for a sponsorship opportunity, and that gave me a little gust, and it really made me think about how silly it is for me not to be filming. Not for the sponsorship specifically, although that's part of it. Like, who wouldn't want to help their family when they're able to? Like, with my husband and myself, like, why would I not want to do that? Or like, you know, travel is sometimes hard because it's very expensive to travel, period, for everybody. But if I could do something that makes it more easy or more affordable for me to go and spend time with my family, why wouldn't I do that? And I'm like, is it pride? Is it this? And I don't know. But the more important things, I think, is that sharing my bits of my life here on YouTube, I'm so uncomfortable and I just want to, like, I started to reach forward and turn the video off, but I did that like a few times, just like with saying hello. And I'm not allowed to do that anymore. Feel like when I started, I didn't know if anyone would ever actually watch any of my videos, but going back to the purpose of it was so that those people who felt the things that I was feeling wouldn't feel so alone. Because I venture to say the thoughts and the negative things, even my deepest, darkest, like, thoughts and negative feelings, my fears, shame that I allow to creep in, like, those things it's not unique to me and my life experience. And I do feel that sharing them, hopefully it allows those of you who may be experiencing similar feelings or have felt them to let it go, to be like, you know, oh, like, and maybe most of you already know that everybody feels these things, but I certainly didn't expect to get to 40 and be like looking into a great void. And that's kind of what I feel. I feel like I'm at 40, and on one hand I'll talk about things and joke, like I was sharing with my mom, whether we adopt or we have, or, we do IVF and have, like, whatever we do to have kiddos, like, there's a whole life, but it will look nothing like the vision that I had in my youth of being a mom. And my mom was so very young, and I loved that. As a kiddo, I loved the closeness, I think, which I think that's just partly who my mom is. Like, the things that I love about my mom so much are youthful things that she still has now. So going back to, I'm at this point in life, and I think, sometimes people get to this point maybe earlier, maybe later, and it's like, well, what's next? Like, what is this life? Like, I feel at times, not so much right now, but it's so easy to lean into that purposelessness, and then life just goes by. But there's such beauty, I think, in just the daily routine of life, and there's beauty in vulnerability and sharing our experience, even the bad stuff, with others. And some of it is, I'm not saying anything I've shared is bad. It's not bad to be 40, and it's not bad to feel, I think, the things that I feel right now. I approached life so hopeful, and I feel like early on I had so much fight for life. Like, when I look at my high school ages and what life was like, and then going to school and, like, making those things happen, I think I had like this thirst and, like, this vision, and 100% I've let that girl down. And yet I think in the opposite direction, I've done more than that girl ever would have imagined that I could do, that I would be capable of doing. So that's pretty cool to think about. And I don't know, how long have I, this is about 15 minutes of me rambling right now. I imagine I'll probably cut out, like, long pauses or, like, things that I never circle back to, because I'm pretty sure I can't do that, actually, because I'm pretty sure I've started like 50 thoughts and never circled back to. But this is me, and I do want to share. I do want to catalog. I want to be able to look back. I don't go back and watch old videos, but just, like, looking at the thumbnails of videos, my mom and I were talking the other day about pictures, because she's always been a big picture taker, and pictures are very important to her, and they're important to me too. I always, I'll take pictures of random trees, like, way back in the day, and going back to high school, get the disposable cameras and take pictures of trees. I have all of this stuff, and I'm like, my goodness, I worked for, like, minimum wage, and I was probably spending, like, I was working, like, hours to go take bad photos of random trees. But when I look at those photos, especially the good photos, it takes me back, and I can smell the air and, like, just feel it. Like, it takes me back to that point in life. It's like I can visit. I don't know. And it gives different perspective, and I appreciate that. And I think filming these videos, it helps me as I go through. And if I focus on that as opposed to how it's been hurtful, I think that I'll be strong enough to continue to post regardless of the negativity out there. And sometimes I'm like, why can't I just be stronger? Like, why can't I just be stronger? Why can't I just get mad? Because I don't really even get that mad. When I do, I talk myself out of the feelings of being mad. It's very Pollyanna of me, I guess. I'm able to see the people side of most anything, and yeah, so, but I don't give myself that same grace. Like, I do get mad at myself, and that's not the greatest, but I know I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who does that. So going back, I started talking about hitting that 9 months mark, and I got more energy, but the scale definitely slowed. Like, it had, from 6 months to 9 months, it had already, like, slowed down, and then from 9 until now, it's like crawling. So it's not that there's anything wrong or that my surgery didn't work. My surgery, I think, has done its job. and it's up to me to like enforce better habits. I'm not going to have more energy until I start moving more, I think. And I may have said these exact same things before to y'all. I definitely wasn't in a place at 6 months where I was still going through it, getting sick a lot, and just not having energy. But once I hit about 9 months, like that's out the window. Like I feel like about 9 months, like I could have started implementing better habits and more consistent habits. And that's what I want to focus on right now. And so we'll talk more about that. One thing I also love about having videos is when I say stuff like that and then I go back and look in the past, I've been able to be like, oh, I'm like, I don't have good habits, but like, look at the habits. And now I don't have anything. Like, I don't have anything to go back and look at. I have pictures of my flowers. I have my camera roll in my phone is like all of my bougainvillea. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun growing things, and that's good. But I've got to get the weight off and not get complacent, because I feel good. I feel comfortable, and I don't need to stay here where I feel comfortable, where I feel good. I need to get to a healthy weight so that I always feel good, and I need to get to a healthy weight to give myself the best chance at feeling good and able. And on that, we are going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope that I share it. I hope that this helps me feel more comfortable going forward, and I am able to make YouTube videos and share my struggle, which hopefully will be helpful to at least one other person, you know? And I'm grateful for all of you and the love and support that you've given me over the years. And I will see you next time. Bye.